Ms. Garcia, whenever you're ready.
They already pressed play. There we go. My freshman year of high school, I discovered the name Selena. In Spanish class, I had to watch a movie about Selena Quintanilla. Now before, I had absolutely no idea who she was or why she was even famous. But after watching this movie, I instantly fell in love with her music. Now I know most of you can't speak Spanish, and I don't know much myself, but we can still appreciate and admire her career in music. She's extremely important to the music industry and to culture, specifically Mexican-American culture. And today I will provide you with information on who Selena was, how she started her career, and why she was an important impact to our world. Selena Quintanilla was born in Lake Jackson, Texas on April 16, 1971. Her father, Abraham, was in a band known as Los Dinos when he was younger. His musical talent was passed down to all three of his children and encouraged them to create a band themselves. According to Chinchilla Gonzalez's book, Selena, they became well known as Selena y Los Dinos. They began performing anywhere and everywhere, including the family restaurant and any backyards that they could get. Selena became homeschooled, and the band became this family's main source of income. Selena's voice began to become well known amongst the public, and she was eventually signed to EMI Records and released her debut album in 1989. Chinchilla Gonzalez's book refers to Selena as the Queen of Tejano music. And Tejano refers to a Mexican-American individual who inhabits in Texas. Most of these artists are male, so this was a huge honor for Selena to be considered this because most women don't make it in this specific industry. One aspect that makes Selena so special is her culture. Although she grew up in Texas and is considered Mexican-American, she knew no Spanish. But with practice and dedication, she learned enough to incorporate it into her music and gain the acceptance of her Mexican audience. Her popularity began to grow vastly, and she started releasing new music, and then began to follow another passion of hers, which was fashion. She designed and created her own clothing line and even wore it on stage while she performed. She was reaching thousands of fans through both her Spanish and English lyrics, and she became a role model to the Latina community. Selena was at the peak of her life. She had just married guitarist Chris Perez, and she was getting ready to start a family. She was releasing hit singles and had plans to release her English language album the following summer. Her life was planned out, and she was excited. But unfortunately, her life was taken away from her before she could achieve these goals. Selena was murdered on March 31st, 1995. Yolanda Saldivar was Selena's fan club president, and she was accused of stealing money from the club to use for her own purposes. Selena's father, Abraham, later fired Yolanda for the fraud. Selena was heartbroken because she loved Yolanda, and Yolanda, of course, felt terrible. But she decided to meet up with Yolanda at a Corpus Christi hotel to retrieve the missing money and documents that Yolanda had stolen in the first place. The two argued for a bit, and a hurt Selena walked away, and as she was walking away, Yolanda pulled out a gun and shot Selena in the back. Selena later died in a hospital, and Yolanda locked herself in her truck for 9 hours, contemplating her life and what she had just done to her beloved Selena. She later surrendered to the police and was accused of first-degree murder. After Selena's tragic death, her life was depicted into the movie, as I mentioned earlier, Selena, featuring Jennifer Lopez. The movie is a great commemoration to her life. It explained who she was and why she was so important. And although Selena's life was cut short, her legacy was not. She has impacted the lives of many individuals. Perlo Campos, a global marketing lead for Google Doodles, states that one of her favorite memories as a child was singing Bitty Bitty Bum Bum, which is Selena's greatest hit, in the car with her family. She shares her love for Selena and the story behind the Google Doodle to tribute the anniversary of Selena's debut solo album in 1989. I also love Selena. Her music makes me happy, and honestly, it just makes me want to get up and dance. And my dad states that he loves her as well, and he says that one of his favorite memories of all time is getting to see her in concert in 1993. Like my dad and I, Selena has impacted many lives. Selena displays how nothing is impossible, how a Mexican-American female who only speaks English can become a role model to all Hispanics. She is a symbol of empowerment. She represents the Hispanic culture in the music industry. Selena Quintanilla is truly an icon. Her voice is what draws people in because it's so beautiful and unique. There's heartfelt meaning behind each song, whether it's in English or Spanish. and her catchy music captures the heart of many individuals, and through her music, style, and character, her legacy will live on in this world. She will be remembered as an icon to not only Hispanics, but to all music categories. She truly is the queen of Tejano music, and after learning about who Selena is, how her career started, and why she has impacted the world, I hope each of you can at least acknowledge how special she was, and maybe even listen to one of her beautiful, catchy songs. Thank you.